Chapter 3, Water Resources. You already know that three-fourths of the Earth's surface is covered with water, but only a small proportion of it accounts for fresh water that can be put to use. This fresh water is mainly obtained from surface runoff and groundwater that is continually being renewed and recharged through the hydrological cycle. All water moves within the hydrological cycle, ensuring that water is a renewable resource. You might wonder that if three-fourths of the world is covered with water and water is a renewable resource, then how is it that countries and regions around the globe suffer from water scarcity? Why is it predicted that by 2025 nearly 2 billion people will live in absolute water scarcity? Water scarcity and the need for water conservation and management. Given the abundance and renewability of water, it is difficult to imagine that we may suffer from water scarcity. The moment we speak of water shortages, we immediately associate it with regions having low rainfall or those that are drought prone. We instantaneously visualize the deserts of Rajasthan and women balancing many matkas, that is, earthen pots, used for collecting and storing water and traveling long distances to get water. True, the availability of water resources varies over space and time, mainly due to the variations in seasonal and annual precipitation. But water scarcity in most cases is caused by overexploitation, excessive use, and unequal access to water among different social groups. Where is then water scarcity likely to occur? As you have read in the hydrological cycle, fresh water can be obtained directly from precipitation, surface runoff, and groundwater. Is it possible that an area or region may have ample water resources but is still facing water scarcity? Many of our cities are such examples. Thus, water scarcity may be an outcome of large and growing population and consequent greater demands for water and unequal access to it. A large population requires more water not only for domestic use but also to produce more food. Hence, to facilitate higher food grain production, water resources are being overexploited to expand irrigated areas for dry season agriculture. Irrigated agriculture is the largest consumer of water. Now, it is needed to revolutionize the agriculture through developing drought resistant crops and dry farming techniques. You may have seen in many television advertisements that most farmers have their own wells and tube wells in their farms for irrigation to increase their produce. But have you ever wondered that this could result in sorry but have you ever wondered what this could result in? That it may lead to falling groundwater levels, adversely affecting water availability and food security of the people. Post independent India witnessed intensive industrialization and urbanization, creating vast opportunities for us. Today, large industrial houses are as commonplace as the industrial units of many MNCs, that is, multinational corporations. The ever increasing number of industries has made matters worse by exerting pressure on existing freshwater resources. Industries, apart from being heavy users of water, also require power to run them. Much of this energy comes from hydroelectric power. Today in India, hydroelectric power contributes approximately 22% of the total electricity produced. Moreover, multiplying urban centers with large and dense populations and urban lifestyles have not only added to water and energy requirements but have further aggravated the problem. If you look into the housing societies or colonies in the cities, you would find that most of these have their own groundwater pumping devices to meet their water needs. Not surprisingly, we find that fragile water resources are being overexploited and have caused their depletion in several of these cities. So far we have focused on the qualitative sorry so far we have focused on the quantitative aspects of water scarcity. Now let us consider another situation where water is sufficiently available to meet the needs of the people, but the area still suffers from water scarcity. This scarcity may be due to bad quality of water. Lately, there has been a growing concern that even if there is ample water to meet the needs of the people, much of it may be polluted by domestic and industrial wastes, chemicals, pesticides, and fertilizers used in agriculture, thus making it hazardous for human use. You may have already realized that the need of the hour is to conserve and manage our water resources, to safeguard ourselves from health hazards, to ensure food security, continuation of our livelihoods and productive activities, and also to prevent degradation of our natural ecosystems. Overexploitation and mismanagement of water resources will impoverish this resource and cause ecological crises that may have profound impact on our lives. India's rivers, especially the smaller ones, have all turned into toxic streams, and even the big ones like the Ganga and Yamuna are far from being pure. The assault on India's rivers, from population growth, agricultural modernization, urbanization, and industrialization, is enormous and growing by the day. This entire life stands threatened.